The following is the 670th Arizona Racing Commission meeting taking place at 1110 West Washington, Suite 250, Phoenix, Arizona, 85007 on Thursday, June 13th, 2019.
All right, good morning, everyone. Thank you for showing up today. At this point in time, Madam Secretary, and could someone please close the door there in the back? All right, thank you. Madam Secretary, could you please call roll?
Sure. Mr. Coolidge, at this time is not present. Mr. Goray?
Present.
Mr. Lawless?
Here.
And Mr. McClintock?
Here.
Okay, we do have a quorum.
All right, thank you. At this point in time, I'd like to call to order the 670th regular Arizona Racing Commission meeting of June 13th, 2019. Okay. We're going to do just a little change up on the agenda. We're going to move the executive session to the end. So we will first go to action, or
First it's 10:01 for the record, and I just want to do a statement really quick. Good morning, everyone. As a public service, please silence or turn all cell phones off. If you must take a call, please be courteous to those around you and take the conversation out into the hall. Thank you.
all right. As I mentioned, we're going to move the executive sessions to the end. There's no complaints on that. But before we get going, I just wanted to make a little statement here. The legislative session for the year has closed, and like all ones before, some citizens are happy with the outcome and some not so happy, and some indifferent. Our community was represented this year with several bills. I know some of you are ready to uncork bottles of champagne, while others are dismayed with this year's session. Please remember that this body can only enforce, provide oversight, and support on the laws, rules, and regulations as provided to us by the legislative body and signed by the governor. No amount of finger-pointing, name-calling will change what we can and can't do. I would ask all to please be respectful and conduct business before this commission in such a manner that will give the public an unexcelled perception of our conduct. And with that, I'd like to move to item D, action items, annual award of racehorse adoption grant.
Yes, this comes from the 5% on the horse racing fines for the rulings. This is the annual retired racehorse adoption grant. We received one grant application. It was the Equine Encore Foundation. The amount of the grant is $1,380.50, and we would recommend that.
And I move we award the adoption grant to Equine Encore Foundation.
Do we have a second? I'll second it. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Madam Secretary?
Okay, Mr. Goray?
Yes.
Mr. Lawless?
Yes.
Mr. McClintock?
Yes.
Okay, motion passed.
Okay. Item 2, Arizona Downs request approval of the following off-track betting facility, Parkview Tap House Bar and Grill in Fountain Hills, Arizona.
Back in May, Arizona Downs requested this off-track betting facility. They have submitted their application. The city of Fountain Hills has approved the application as well. We went and take a look at it. Both the bar owner and the OTB managers are licensed, have passed the background test. So we would recommend approval.
I do believe we have somebody who signed up, Charlie Billingsley.
Only to address any concerns or objections.
Okay.
Okay, well then, I'll move that we approve the the Parkview Tap House Bar and Grill as an OTB site.
I will second. Go with him.
Okay.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Madam Secretary?
Okay, Mr. Goray?
Yes.
Mr. Lawless?
Yes.
Mr. McClintock?
Yes.
Okay, motion passed.
All right. Moving on to item E, information report, safety report.
I'm going to start off with the Turf Paradise safety report. Back in April, they were awarded their permit conditionally on a few items on the backside. I can report that I received an email from Vince Mancita that the training track rail has been fixed on the inside. It's been re-engineered, and I did walk the training track. It has definitely been, the inner rail has been raised to a height of 42 inches. The bridle path, I'm told, the asphalt has been removed on the north side of Elro. Beginning this week, there'll be 16 feet wide road, which will serve as the bridle path. It will lead to the track going east, and will also extend north, forming a path to the entrance to the paddock. 3 connector paths will extend from K Rose to the Elro. It'll serve to ease the horse traffic on the roadway between K and Elrose while providing a safe access to the track. I'm also informed that all stable area bathrooms have been refurbished. The repairs include retiling the showers, repair of the bathroom stalls and toilets, replacement of faucets, sinks, and showers, power washing, and repainting the facilities inside and out. There is one more bathroom that needs to be completed. This work has been done. As far as Arizona Downs, they're in their first season. Backside looks fine. There's no asphalt back there, so there's no potholes of anything of that nature. The only thing we hear is in the morning the track is in better condition than the afternoon, and it has to do more with watering. And I don't know if you've been up there, but it's extremely windy on race days, so I don't know if there's enough water you can put on that track because it either evaporates or blows away as quick as possible. And I'll let Arizona Downs address that issue at this time, but that is a safety report for June.
Yeah, after my visit, when I came home, I wasn't sure if it was sunburn or windburn on my face, but thank you for all the work that's been going on. It's greatly appreciated. And I think we're making great strides on our safety. Okay, item 2, budget report.
Jason LaForest, President. He's our new CFO. He will be presenting the budget.
Chairman, Commissioners, let me formally introduce myself. My name is Jason LaForest. I'm the new Chief Financial Officer of the Arizona Department of Gaming. This year, for the budget report for the Division of Racing, we are close, but we are going to make it. Going forward, we are going to reassess internal processes and review shared and administrative expense allocations to ensure the financial health of the Division of Racing. If you have any questions or concerns, I will make myself available to any of those comments at any time.
Fiscal year June 30.
Yep. Yes, sir. And I apologize, I've only been here for a hot minute, but it is like my 4th week, so.
No.
Yeah.
We don't know that short period. We would have prepared some heavy questions for
Right.
I'll be glad to take them one day.
All right, thank you. Welcome. All right, next item is 3, legislative update.
Mr. Chair, members of the Commission, for the record, my name is Max Hargraves and I'm the Legislative Assistant at the Arizona Department of Gaming. Since the last Commission meeting, Arizona's 2019 legislative session adjourned on May 28th. This session lasted 134 days and had 1,318 bills posted, 320 bills signed into law, and 11 bills vetoed. Of those 320 bills signed into law, 2 of them are in relation to horse racing. In the past weekend, the governor signed House Bill 2547, which changes simulcast agreements in the state along with permittee requirements in Pima County. Specifically, this bill requires each simulcast that originates from an Arizona track to be offered to every track in OTB in Arizona. Requires each track and each simulcast provider originating outside of Arizona to enter into a simulcast agreement subject to approval by the Commission. Requires the Commission to approve the simulcast agreement if the agreement is reasonable and complies with all requirements, and prohibits a track or simulcast provider from engaging in any anti-competitive or deceptive practices. This bill defines anti-competitive or deceptive practice as any agreement to charge excessive or unreasonable fees for the right to receive the simulcasts, any agreement with any other track or entity in which simulcast signals are bundled together to secure an excessive or unreasonable fee for the right to receive any of the signals, and any other activity with the purpose or effect of artificially inflating prices beyond reasonable market rates. This bill also requires the Commission, in determining whether a simulcast fee is excessive or unreasonable, to consider prevailing rates paid for comparable signals in the past, prevailing rates paid outside of Arizona, and whether any commonality of ownership or revenue sharing exists between the track and entity that receives the fee. When it comes to permittee requirements in Pima County, This bill allows Rito Racetrack in Pima County to conduct wagering on simulcasts for more than 20 days without conducting at least 7 posted races on 140 racing days, if agreed to in writing by the track and the Horsemen's Organization, and allows Rito Racetrack in Pima County to own or lease up to 6 new OTBs in the county between the effective date of this legislation, August 27, 2019, and June 30th, 2020. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
I don't have any questions at this time. Do you?
The only question I have is, going forward, obviously, I guess there would have to be some staff work done looking at what the pricing and all that is. Is there going to be an impact to the budget going forward of more work having to be done? We're having to look at these type of things, and if so, is that being looked into for next year's fiscal budget?
You're right, there will be a little extra work that the division will have to go through to ensure this, but I don't believe that it's going to be that much of an impact budget-wise.
That's all I had. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next is permittee reports, not to exceed 3 minutes. We'll start with American Greyhound Racing.
Report, Commissioner.
Thank you. Arizona Downs.
Morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioner. My name is Ann McGovern. I am the General Manager at Arizona Downs, and I am a very happy General Manager today. I am thrilled to state on the record that we have raced our first race on May 24th at Arizona Downs and concluded 8 full race days since then. Our opening weekend was amazing. Not only was the atmosphere very festive and there were lots of families and a lot of children, they all were having a great time. Our racing actually went off without a hitch, and operations from an internal standpoint, admissions, parking, food and beverage, all went very smoothly. There was a feeling of a small fair meet with the amenities of a beautiful grandstand and a 1-mile racing surface. Our racing office did an outstanding job working with the horsemen, filled 4 days of racing, and our horsemen continue to support us, and I thank them very much. This Saturday's 8-race card averages 9.75 horses a race, and that has to be one of the highest in the country. Since our opening, the restaurant has sold out each day, and this Father's Day weekend, our advanced reservations look like they'll be the highest to date. The community has been very, very supportive. The leaders have told me over and over again how grateful they are that Arizona Downs is back and open. We have had to expand our beer garden on the 2nd floor. We've had to add ovens for pizzas just to keep up with the demand. But as Greg mentioned, we have had a couple of challenges when it comes to track maintenance. The very, very windy and very dry conditions in Prescott Valley do require quite a bit of water on our racetrack and on the horse paths and on the driving paths. But I'm happy to say our track maintenance department has risen to that challenge. We have added water trucks and we've made adaptations to the current water trucks, and I think that with the wind dying down a little bit, I think we've seen a great improvement in that area. I do meet with the jockeys regularly, and I talk to the practicing veterinarians, the state veterinarian, and the track veterinarians, and try and identify issues prior to them becoming problems. And all of them have said to me how sound the racetrack is and that they don't see any major issues coming off the track. I don't want to jinx myself, but we have not had any catastrophic injuries in our 8 days of racing, and I'm very proud of that. And as safety has always been at the top of our priority list, from the starting gate crew wearing vests and helmets to requiring and paying for pre-race exams for every racehorse. We will continue to keep those safety issues a priority, and I will continue meeting with those people that can give me information to make sure issues don't happen. We have made a conscious decision to concentrate on live handle and live attendance, and that challenges our marketing department to keep this momentum going. We have several tried and true promotions on our calendar, including Winter Dog races on the 20th. We have a Ladies' Day, a First Responders Day, a College Day. Am I almost at 3 minutes? I'm very close. This Father's Day, we have a stick horse race, a father-daughter stick horse race, and a father-son stick horse race. And Michael Merman tells me that he is quite up for the challenge. And I will close by saying that this whole operation could not have happened without the support of every facet of the industry. Our ownership has spared no expense in making Arizona Downs a special place to visit. Your staff has provided guidance and direction and has been wonderful to work with. The horsemen are filling races, and I thank them from the bottom of my heart for their support. And I can just tell you that we are committed and energized to keep this momentum going. I'm open for any questions.
I just had a couple of comments. First of all, you guys did a great job there on my visit. Are the rattlesnakes gone yet before I make my next visit?
You never know where they are, but I hope so.
And just one item, and I think we will be able to talk a little later on in the safety report, but one of the items I did observe when I was there, there was one of the races, the jockey had pulled the horse back and came in like 30 lengths behind, and immediately the vet was over there talking to the jockey to find out what happened, and I was really impressed that even a simple item like that, with regards to safety, was happening there. And bravo on a great job there.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
County fairs. Is Jay here, or a representative from Tucson? No?
Mariko?
Yeah. Oh, no, he's Arizona Downs now.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Unless you want to speak. All right, now you get Tucson Greyhound Park.
Nothing to report.
All right. Turf Paradise. Thank you. All right, optional industry stakeholder association updates. Arizona Counties Racing Association. Arizona Greyhound Association. I know he's not here. They'll be at my house next week watching my greyhounds. Arizona Quarter Horse Racing Association. Thoroughbred Breeders Association.
Nothing to report. Thank
Okay.
you.
HBPA.
Oh, I can't let that go by. Commissioners, Dr. Casillas, Leroy Guestman, the Arizona HBPA. I just want to say that thank you, I guess, to Turf Paradise. The training track rail is done. They got on it right away as the meet ended, and it has all been raised and repainted, and it's in great shape now. We appreciate that. I've been in and out of there every week. The restrooms are being worked on. The bridle path has been started, and Commissioner Gray and I also walked the backside with Vince a couple weeks into it, and he laid out all the plans, and we're very excited about all of that. And I want to say, Arizona Downs, it's been a fun up there. It's been refreshing, and Ann has done a great job. There has been an issue with the track, but Ann is working on it. She's been working with the water trucks. There's been obviously equipment not running for 10 years and then being used in the manner it's being used now has had some problems. But I think it's been a lot better the last couple of weekends, and we're moving forward there. I just want to say that I think that now is the time all three tracks need to come together and work together. Yesterday, very unfortunate, Senator McSally introduced the Interstate Horse Racing Act bill in the Senate. It's already got quite a bit of steam in the House. Our representatives from the HBPA have been in Washington about every other week working on this. If this bill passes, this will be devastating to Arizona racing. Not being able to run on LASIX, and just the increase in fees that will cost for testing the winners of the races will be, we're estimating double to triple what it cost us now. So that extra expense on Arizona Racing would be devastating. Not being able to run on Lasix would be devastating. We all know that there's problems in Santa Anita, and that's put a lot of fuel to this fire. Anyway, I just want you, we all got to work together and try and stop this from happening in Arizona. And that's all I have. Thank you.
All right. Now that we have year-round racing, there should be no excuse. Jockeys Guild? All right. Should we do item F before the executive session? Yeah. Item F, Commission report, summary of current events affecting the Arizona Racing Commission. Only commission members or director may report.
Outside of the new legislation, nothing more to be concerned with at this point.
I actually have a couple of items I would like us to maybe start looking at too. Thursday is entry day up at Arizona Downs. Friday is, I believe, not an entry day and not a live racing date, so would maybe like to see if we could look into moving the commission meetings to Friday afternoons. I'm not available Friday mornings, but would be available Friday afternoons if possible, so that we could accommodate more of the Arizona Downs people not having to deal with entry day.
I will discuss that with Cassie Goodwin. We may have some difficulty getting this conference room. The entire building has use of it, and we have it locked in for Thursdays, but we will look into it to see if that's possible.
Yeah, I fully understand, but I just wanted to bring it up. And the other item, I know it's not a rule or whatever. One of the observants I saw with the Arizona Downs was the gate people working the gates. They all had on vests and helmets, and I did observe horses. They were trying to get it into the gate, came out, ran right into the attendant, and I'm sure the attendant was very happy he was wearing a vest and helmet. And I would just like to look to see, is there a way we could explore into making a requirement that the gate attendants are wearing a vest and a helmet. I think it's really important for the safety of our community. That's all I had. All right, and the next item was call to the public, but I don't think we had anyone else signed up for that. So with that, I think we can move back to item B1, executive session. I would entertain a motion for going into executive session if the commission so deemed we need to.
I move we go into executive session, find out what's going on.
That would be for item B1, correct?
Yeah, B1.
All right.
Do I have a second?
I will second that.
Okay.
Madam Secretary?
Okay. Mr. Garay,
Yes.
Mr. Lawless,
Yes.
and Mr. McClintock.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
The time is 10:23. We were going to go into our first executive session.
And all members of the public must leave the room and must take.
The following is the second open session of the 670th Arizona Racing Commission meeting taking place at 1110 West Washington, Suite 250, Phoenix, Arizona, 85007 on Thursday, June 13th, 2019. The meeting is convened at...
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to... Well, we can reconvene. I mean, we don't need to...
No, we need to have one of those.
Ready? Okay, reconvening at 10:32.
All right. Can we have a roll call, please?
Yes. Mr. Garay.
Here.
Mr. Lawless.
Here.
Mr. McClintock.
Here.
All right. At this time, calling the 670th regular Arizona Racing Commission meeting back to order. The next item is C1, the Ronald Sims Notice of Appeal to the Arizona Racing Commission of the Department of Gaming's Director, July 19, 2017 letter, and a whole bunch of other. I, in person myself, I don't feel like I need any update regarding this item. I don't know if you...
I don't.
Tom, did you feel like you need to speak with council on this, or?
No.
All right, I think we can then skip item C1.
May I have a moment, please?
Oh, sure.
Unless you have any questions, I don't have any prepared remarks, but we have asked...
Can you state your name, please?
I'm sorry, Nathan Novak. I am one of Ron Sims' attorneys, and it's nice to be here. Members of the commission, Mr. Director, thank you. We have asked the commission to today vote on this stipulation to approve it. That's the only reason I'm here. You should have in your packet a joint stipulation to continue the stay that currently exists on an appeal that is pending before the commission. My understanding was that this had been taken care of and put on the agenda for this reason.
Yeah, I don't have any stipulation in my packet, and this is the first I think I'm hearing about it.
Okay, if I just have a moment, I'd like to explain at least what the stipulation is, and I do have one copy of it here. This is not related to the appeal that you just had executive session on. That was the appeal of the 2013 license application. That went through the ALJ. The commission made a ruling on that in 2016. That was appealed to the Superior Court, and that's what's now before the Court of Appeals. In 2017, because Ron has to submit a racing license application every 2 years, in 2017, the department deemed Ron's license application incomplete. In further correspondence, we found it's considered pending and not withdrawn. We appealed both to this commission and to the director in 2017 the ruling of the director that it was an incomplete application. In 2018, this commission decided by stipulation of the parties at the time the department was represented by Mr. Joe Canefield to stay the hearing on that appeal while the appeal of the 2013 license issue went through the Superior Court. That ruling on the 2013 issue before the Superior Court is now on appeal before the Court of Appeals. So what my office and Ron have stipulated with the Department of Gaming through Mr. Krikorian, who's replaced Mr. Canefield, is to continue that stay, which is going on today, through this commission and Mr. Jerry Sims' appeal to the Court of Appeals. So we're simply requesting a procedural vote. Ms. Alarcon can ably advise you on the meaning of this stipulation. I apologize. My assumption was that this had been taken care of. We submitted the stipulation to the department. We were told this was placed on the agenda. I'm not casting any blame or aspersions at anyone, but my understanding was that we would get a vote today on this matter. If the commission cannot vote to approve the stipulation today, then I would request that it be put on the soonest agenda which it can be placed on so we can get the vote. Right. And I do have one copy of the document here, which I'm happy to leave with whomever can take it.
Well, reading C1, going through it, we do have in there a further state of the proceedings to at least up through and including the resolution of the judicial review action of the active Court of Appeals and possibly the Arizona Supreme Court. So I think we're covered. The question I have, since it was not in our packet here,
And I
cannot attest.
I did not, I had assumed that,
Yeah.
that the stipulation was, because it was served on the department in a couple months ago.
I can't attest to whether it was in, I don't have my laptop here to attest whether it was in our electronic package. So that's the only concern I have moving forward on this, if it was not in our packet.
Well, I do think that the agenda item accurately describes the content of the stipulation, which is why I didn't have any particular concern when I saw the agenda, or I would have followed up.
Do you have the one copy we could?
I have it right here, yes. I mean, I certainly don't want to ask the commission to do anything that would be procedurally improper.
And
but
unfortunately, our commission attorney has disappeared now too. My one concern is that it was not in our packet today, and I can't attest to whether it was in our electronic packet, but we could possibly call for an emergency meeting next week. Or
There's,
Let me just interject here. I did have some email communication from John Krikorian, Mr. Canefield's replacement on this matter, and asked if the division had any objection to the stay. I emailed him back and told him that the division did not have any objection whatsoever, and that they had to get concurrence from the commission itself, that I can't speak for you guys. So I agree with Mr. Novak that it should have been here for a vote, basically from the commission to determine whether or not you will grant this stay.
Can we just take a quick look at the copy?
Sure.
She went to make up.
Oh, okay.
And I am far from an expert in commission and agency procedure, but my understanding is because it's been properly placed on the agenda, if you have a few minutes to review the stipulation, it is my guess that you can properly vote on this.
Yeah, it's as long as it was properly stated, and the agenda item is actually very thorough.
Yeah.
Everybody knows what it's in effect.
The agenda item is almost a cut and paste of the stipulation, really.
Okay.
So I'm happy to yield the podium now unless you have any questions for it.
No questions, just wait for the copies and we'll...
Thank you. Thank you again.
Thank you. Noisy people out there. Of course.
Oh, I have it.
Okay. I do remember seeing this, I just don't remember if it was in the electronic package or not, but I do remember reading this.
Well, I don't have a problem with continuing to stay, do you?
I don't. Tom, did you have any questions? Since you don't have...
No, at this point.
Yeah, it's basically, yeah, just continuing without prejudice to or waiver of the rights of the respective parties on this, and at least including up through and including the resolution of the judicial review. And I think this probably makes a lot of sense. So I would at this time entertain a motion for the item C1 to grant the stay,
So moved.
and I will second it. Madam Secretary, please.
Yes. Mr. Garay?
Yes.
Mr. Lawless?
Yeah.
Mr. McClintock?
Yes.
Okay, the motion passed.
All right. All right. Next item is H, announcements. The next regular Arizona Racing Commission meeting tentatively scheduled for 10 a.m. on Thursday, July 11, 2019, in this same conference room and building. And at this time, I will entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
Second, Bill.
Okay.
Roll.
Roll. Mr. Garay?
Yes.
Mr. Lawless?
Yeah.
And Mr. McClintock?
Yes.
Okay, the time is 10:42.
Thank you.